we start with an opening statement, Coach?
Oh, sure. Well, first off, I mean, Johns Hopkins is an outstanding program. Their coach, I only met him briefly today. I thought he did an outstanding job using his timeouts. I thought in the first, I mean, they were more ready to play than us. I thought we were very flat early. They scored 15 points in the first 6 minutes. You know, the senior kid Hammer is phenomenal. You know, like he's just such a hard matchup. He uses screens, he reads screens. He had the fake user screen and popped for the three, which is like their pet play. And they obviously watch the Scranton film because he got beat on it twice now. And you know, I think that their bigs are just so mobile. You know, like they're not the traditional bigs that like we face sometimes, like MIT, where they're just going to take a spot. And they do a terrific job with shot fakes. I think their point guard, Vasilidis, number 5, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, but, you know, like I think he's the barometer for them because he never gets a lot of credit, but he gets them into stuff, you know. And whenever they need a basket, you know, Hammer was just phenomenal. You know, like out front they went 1-4 high, and he went off as if he was going to use the back screen, and then he popped back out for the three, beat us once for the three, and then he beat us the next time because we overplayed it, and they got a layup on the high play, on the lob play underneath the basket. You know, their length at points when Billups 41 was in the game was really hard for us at points. You know, he really protected the rim well for them. You know, I thought in the first half, you know, like I said, the first 4 minutes they had 15 points, and then we held them to 15 points for the next 16, and I thought we started to get comfortable then. But I didn't think we played with the same energy and passion that we did last weekend, and I thought that they took complete advantage of it, and they played their game. I mean, they're very much a high-skill team, more of a finesse than a beat-you-up-inside team. And at halftime, we just talked about we got to bring energy and get stops because that's how we play. That's do what we do, I guess, is the best I can say. And then, you know, these two guys have been scoring for us all year. I think it was 51% of our offense came from John and Joey. At this point, it's more like 85% of our offense comes from John and Joey. And, you know, during the year, we'd say, you know, we're scoring about 60 even though we're trying to run. And, you know, you got to hold them under. And now, you know, every team's better offensively and defensively. And, you know, we've held two really good offensive teams that, you know, shoot. You know, Scranton shot 40% from three as a team. And, you know, Johns Hopkins shoots 38% from three. They made 6 in the first half. They only made 3 in the second half. So I thought we made some good adjustments. And I just thought our guys gutted it out. You know, it was just about toughness, and we made enough plays. You know, I mean, it wasn't one play, but it was, I think, grinding it every single possession. Whenever we made a mistake, Johns Hopkins made us pay, and that's what great teams do. And, I mean, you know, they end up their season as a 25-5. Is that right? Okay. I mean, 25 wins means you know how to win. You know, and they take advantage of a lot of teams. They play in a phenomenal conference. So for us to be, you know, advancing is a credit to all our guys, and the fact that, you know, these two guys score it when we need them to, and they're willing to make plays when we need them to. But it's our team defense that ultimately, you know, you hold them to 17 in the second half and 47 for the game. You know, I think that's ultimately what we're looking at.
Found out what's special about Joey tonight. The final 11 minutes, 4 for 4 from the floor, 1 for 1 from 3-point range, and 4 for 4 from the line.
You know, I think that Joey in this gym plays fearless, and he's willing to shoulder the load. We've seen a lot of different ways to guard him, and we've made some adjustments, but ultimately we give it to him when we need baskets. You know, I mean, it's no secret. And, you know, it's a situation where Joey's versatility to handle the ball against bigger guys, use ball screens, but he's a underrated passer. I mean, he made some great passes and laydowns today. And, you know, the biggest thing I get on Joey about is you got to rebound and you got to play better post defense because we got to have everybody playing both. And he played with 4 fouls for a long time. And Hopkins did a good job trying to get into him. And, you know, I think he, you know, again, like everybody else, he did enough. But Joey's special and unique because he can score from anywhere on the floor. And he can score against just about any matchup. Like I said, I thought Billups' length hurt us at points, but they didn't play him late. And I thought without the rim protector, you know, Joey was able to make a couple jumpers, like you said, 4 for 4. And, you know, he was ice from the line down the stretch, which is, you know, obviously at this time of year, if you're not making your free throws, it's really hard to win. especially when we're scraping for 49 points in 40 minutes. So.
You hit the 150 mark with the 2-point lead. It looked like it had the potential to have a lot of possessions then because it was close and you both had timeouts, but it ended up being one trip down the floor for you and then one trip back for them. You had the long possession prolonged by the kick and then the offensive rebound. You called a couple timeouts in the midst. How did you try to manage that, and what were you trying to set up as you shortened the games?
I think the biggest thing is, you want to put your kids in positions that they can make a play. So when we called the timeout and they were playing zone, we were going to run, a flare no matter what, in that situation, hoping not only use Joey to get the ball, but potentially off the flare to get a slip because everybody's going after Joey so hard. We thought we'd get an inside touch out of that situation. They did a good job, but, it was one of those things where I didn't like what I saw. I felt like we were stagnant, which was how we were in the first half a lot. And we needed to just get together, and that's why we called the timeout. And, the great thing was I think it was 19.5 seconds, left in the game. And these guys were like, one more stop. And we played, what we call 5 guards. We can switch all the picks. And, no one gave in. Ultimately, no one gave in, and then they had the 6.5 again, and you're just sitting there going, it's hammer time, it's hammer time. And even when you switch out, he still gets it, And, it's a situation where I think sometimes you have to be a little bit lucky because he could have hit the shot, he could have made an incredible play that was a buzzer beater. And for us, he didn't. We defended it hard. I thought we got a pretty good challenge up, and I thought he was off balance when he shot it. So I thought we did everything we could in that situation to, maximize them shooting a challenge jump shot. I really was wondering if they were going to go inside, and because Bjornovic, if that's how you say his name, whatever, everybody probably pronounces it 40 ways, he does such a good job around the rim, and so, he was a concern. And obviously Curran is such a good inside-outside player, but, Hammer's going to get the ball. Just like with us, Joey's probably going to get the ball, and, he missed a shot. Praise the hoop gods, and you move on, and now, you got to go play Trinity, and, they're a bear of a team too. I mean, so, and again, anybody you play at this time of the year, they're playing really good basketball. It isn't necessarily the top 5 in the country. It's just who's playing the best right now. And it comes down to toughness. And, we probably made, as, Bill Belichick would say, one more play than them, And I thought our toughness in the second half defensively was really good.
Joey, John, you guys talk about this team's fight, the will to win. You guys have been in this position before in this tournament, last weekend. But you guys, you're 7-1 now, I think, when trailing at halftime. So can you talk a little bit about just the makeup of this year's squad?
Like you said, all year it's been the case. We had a game out at Clark. We were down big. We got in the locker room, and we just talked out one play at a time. We're not going to get the points back in one possession. We just got to grind it out just like we did today. Like you said earlier last week against Westfield, we were down 10 with 14 minutes to go. Against Beck earlier in the year, too, we were down 17 at one point. And Skidmore, too, yeah. I mean, we just we're confident and we're calm, and we're not freaking out on the bench. We know what we have to do to close the gap, and to our credit, we executed and accomplished that goal today.
Joey, you ended up coming away with the rebound, popped that final shot. They used their final timeout after they almost had it stolen away, 6.5 seconds left. Then you come back out, you're able to get the stop. Tell me what you saw on the floor as you saw the shot go off, and how did you react to go get the ball and get it out to safety?
I don't think my guy was crashing. So, I just tried to get in there, try to zone rebound, and luckily the ball bounced off a little bit to the left. I scooped it up and just tried to kill some time, didn't get fouled, and ran out the clock. It's a good way to end a great win.
For sure. All right. John, you had a lot of your points in the first half, and you only had 25 as a team in the first half. It seems like this whole postseason run, your baskets have come sort of here and there, but when the offense really needs them, when you're out there, do you get a sense that, okay, they really need me to be the guy that scores now?
It just comes through the flow of the offense. I mean, Eric Dean can put up 19 in one night, and then another night it's someone else. Joey's always a constant. But whenever my name is called, I'm gonna pass, I'm gonna score, I'm gonna do what's necessary. whether it's rebounding or scoring, just to make it so that we can advance and keep playing as a group. One more game.
And Coach, 2 games in a row now, you've had somebody come in and give you a big lift off the bench when the offense was struggling in the first half. It was Charlie last Saturday, gave you 5 quick, and then Bradley did the same thing tonight. When you put him in the game, what did he do that made him so immediately impactful in what was going on?
Well, I thought he just played with more energy than the guys who started. And nothing against the guys who started, because all 5 guys didn't have the energy and intensity that we had in the second half. And I thought Bradley came in, and like you said, like he in this game, Charlie in another game gave us energy. And let's be honest, like he made a couple shots, he made his free throws. And we just were looking for someone to score, because look, all the attention's on the guys on my right and left here. And there's times when these guys are unselfish and they're not going to force, and someone else has to make a play. And the funny thing is, you watch us play offense, we share the ball. As much as we look for these two, especially during crunch time, like early on in the game, we're throwing it around the gym, as far as ball reversal and trying to get good looks. But, it just, like Sam had a 3 in the corner early, it just didn't go. And Bradley, was ready to go. And he's played, you got to understand where he comes from. He comes from, playing it, against DeMatha, in front of 5,000-10,000 people. As exciting as we have it here, and we're excited that people are hanging off the rafters, and thank God the fire marshal doesn't come in, this is not a big thing for him. Like he's more ready to play in this game, and he did it last week too in the first game. Or maybe it was the Newmac game. I don't know. It was the Newmac game where he just came in and made plays. And he has a lot of confidence, and he's kind of the gentle, giant, quiet guy on our team. And obviously we don't have the size that Hopkins does, but for us he's a gentle giant.
So what do you do to turn around and come back and play Trinity tomorrow night?
You try and take your breath and eat some pizza, and then you look back, and we always start with, well, what do we do well tonight, and then we know every game's a different prep, because like in the Newmac, every game's a different prep. We don't have a lot of teams that play the same style. I think Trinity is all about toughness. They grind like we do. They have some guys who can make shots when they're open. They're almost 2 different teams. They have their starters who get into you, and they have one guy off the bounce who can really score it. And then they bring in 3 guys who can fire. And that versatility, like we got to understand, it's 2 different games. One game we can probably play really compact and try and swarm and surround the glass. And on the second one, it's like, boy, you better be out to the 3 shooters, or else they're going 6 for 10 in the first half, like this team did tonight. I think it's going to be a game about toughness and execution, and who's going to get to the line and make free throws, because they didn't shoot the free throws very well tonight. And as far as turning around, like this is, we had the Newmacs, we had last weekend, we had this weekend, and we also had 2 other tournaments here, So I think that we know what it takes, and we actually spend a lot of time saying to our guys, do what you need to do to get yourself ready. Obviously, stay hydrated. Like this is really important, because this is when guys cramp up, and understand, like we're gonna send a scout to you probably in an hour and a half. Read it, and we'll send you clips, and then we'll meet and get ready to go. And if you can't be up for a chance to go to Salem, Virginia, first time in school history, I don't know, then you don't have a pulse, I guess. So I just I think you enjoy it for couple more minutes, but then you gotta find a way to turn the page, and the other thing is just to recharge your battery and your emotions, and what we kept saying all year is our league plays Wednesday, Saturday. In order to win our league and be 13-1, we felt you had to play 2 emotional games every week. So we've been doing this since January, and I hope our guys come out even more juiced, more charged, and we're at home, and hopefully Joey and Wick and everybody else get some good rest, and can get some sleep. I think sometimes your head's pounding with the excitement of the moment, but we got to channel all that towards rest and come back at 7 o'clock tomorrow and try and get one. It's going to be an exciting opportunity.
Joey, John, if we could just finish with this, obviously first time in program history, getting to this stage. How do you guys, as some of the leaders of this program, just keep everybody grounded, knowing full well that there's more work to be done, and not allow the stage to be bigger than what it is?
I think we set big goals for us at the beginning of the year, so we just try to stay calm and, take it as it goes. Whether we're up and down, we find ways to win games, win in different ways. So just the seniors keep us level-headed, and, we just try to find a way and just keep going, so.
think being at home helps too. We've played here, 16, 17 times now. It's just another game, and obviously has a lot of circumstances if we win or if we lose, but just going out there and playing, every possession matters, and just executing and finishing.